small techniques. Oh.
You're good.
Okay, we're good. And I'll find an outlet really quick before we like, AJ.
Answer to life over here. You're about to drop some mad wisdom, and then all of a sudden, it just cuts out. All good.
No.
Hello.
Yes.
You're good. All good. Don't worry about it.
We're like, hello. I did too. I'm like, hello.
Hey kickers, AJ here, and this month we have a special guest, Jessica Jag Aguilar, awesome martial artist, MMA fighter, and just all around strong woman and strong person. And I think she's a great inspiration to have here on our MATCHAT today. So we're going to be calling you Jag today, correct? Pretty much going by the nickname.
Yeah.
Awesome. So
nice to be on. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you. So I know I gave like a really brief introduction, but I guess could you give like another sentence or two about yourself before we dive into the questions? I know like a little brief introduction. Whatever.
Yeah, well, I've been in MMA, former world champion. I was the first Mexican world champion in mixed martial arts, so I'm very proud of that. And pioneer of the sport. I've been doing this for almost 16 years, and I'm just, happy to be living my dream.
That's pretty awesome with that too.
Black belt Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. There's just so much, but
well, we'll get into the credentials at the end of the time. But like pretty much, if you look her up on YouTube, you'll probably find some awesome fight reels and stuff there too. But all around great martial artist there. But I know you're not technically at your hometown right now. You're technically in Mexico. What are you doing there anyway right now, if I may ask?
My homeland, but home for me, it's Houston, Texas. I was training at American Top Team. I created the female team, started the female team there in 2006. So I was there for about 13 years in South Florida. And right now I'm here in my homeland in Mexico, just kind of enjoying life, getting some training in, learning some new stuff, and working on some new projects. But, I needed to get out for a little bit, save some money, and just kind of, learn some new things here in Mexico. It's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I can already tell the blue skies and everything back there. I guess kind of delving into your background. Now, you've been doing martial arts for 16 years, but I know if any of you guys have followed her or even read on her background, that wasn't intentionally the first thing you wanted or fell into, excuse me. So martial art wasn't your first thing. So what did you actually start in doing?
Well, growing up as a child, I had some devastating things happen in the family. And growing up, I just saw my mom work, and just like there's a lot of sadness. So I knew as a young kid, I was different, and I wanted to see more of the world. I've always been a dreamer. I want to go to Hollywood. I want to be an actress. You're 20 years old. I graduated and I took a semester off college, and I'm still on that semester break. Mom's not too happy about it. At that time, I was studying biology, and I was working in a blood bank in a lab, and I signed up. I was like, okay, if I want to do this, I have to get a job first, make sure that I'm making money, and then, go off and do my dream. Applied to the Red Cross in Orange County. And I think it was 21 years old, and I moved to California alone without knowing anything. It wasn't the easiest. I was there for 8 months, and then I moved to Oregon. Some friends invited me down there and to snowboard, and I was like, yeah, let's go. So I went, and I loved it, and I had friends there, and there were nice people. In California, everyone's like producer, director, something, right? And they weren't the nicest people at the time. And so I thought, I'm still young. Well, let's go to Oregon. It's Seattle. I wanted to keep traveling. So I went there, and I worked as a correction officer. And so in California, I didn't do anything. I did like some few classes of acting, but nothing, it was impossible. I was working most of the time to pay my rent. So I moved to Oregon. I become a correction officer because that's the only job available. The Red Cross was too far from Salem. It was in Portland. So I decided just to work as a correction officer, get trained. That was like the first taste of my training, like combat training. the correction.
Okay.
They send you they send you like 2 weeks of like, maneuvers and just kind of basic holds. But that was my first actual combat training. Like as a kid, I didn't grow up like in karate or any martial arts. I wish I would have, but I love sports. So I grew up with two brothers, and I was an athlete growing, through my school. And, but when you graduate, everything's like, now you're in the real world. There's no more sports. There's no more like, games or anything like that. So that was my first taste of combat. I was there for a year and like a half. I did like an audition in Seattle, but nothing happened. It was just kind of like fun things, but I was kind of still learning about how it was, and it was really hard. And you had to go through all these agents and get the proper training. And I didn't have any training. So a friend calls me up from Miami, and he's like, there's a lot of Latin actress opportunities down here. I think you should come to Miami. And I was like, Miami, Latin actress? I'm like, yeah, like I could be in a telenovela. I could do that. So I pack up, I put my 2 weeks notice in, and I pack up and I head to South Florida. I was an extra on a few things, Dexter and like some telenovela.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But nothing serious. This was just like, it was no big parts. So my acting career didn't go as planned, right? But I continued working, and I found at that time when I was living in South Florida, when I moved there, I found a small boxing gym where I lived. It was really close to where I lived and where I worked, my commutes. And so I would take like an aerobic class there after work. Like it was like a kind of a kickboxing aerobic class. Yeah. And one day I got there and the class had finished. I got there late, and there was like another class going on, and I saw a girl there, and I thought it was like a wrestling class. And I was like, hey, why not? Mm-hmm. So I joined the class, and it was a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu class.
Oh, and okay.
I fell in love. That was December of 2005. After a month, the instructor is like, hey, you learn pretty quick. There's going to be a tournament coming up. So in tournaments, and I'm sure you also know, like when you sign up for tournaments, you pay a registration fee, mm-hmm. and then you go as a team and compete. And so I really didn't know much. It was my first month. I didn't know, but I was trying to make new friends, and I love sports. So I love to go, compete with my team. And so I was kind of tasting that. I was, getting that vibe again. And the trainer's like, do you want to compete? I was like, yeah, but I don't even know what I'm doing. And he's like, in jiu-jitsu, there's like different positions. There are different points. So you can win by points. You can win by submission. Mm-hmm. So he was like, just stay on top. You got to create the points. So I learned that really well. And I went to compete, and I won first place with gi and no gi. And I was like, fell in love. So with the gi is with the kimono. Yeah. And then with no gi is just kind of with spandex and they're different grips, obviously, right? Yeah. So I like fell in love with it, and I was like, I'm learning really cool things too, like self-defense. Mm-hmm. I'm young, I'm small, and I'm living in South Florida. Like people said, just be careful. Mm-hmm. And so my second month, I'm just continue training. I go to this tournament. It's like an ADCC qualifier. In the jiu-jitsu world, the ADCC is one of the most prestigious tournaments, but that was a qualifier, and I had no clue. It was owned by American Top Team at the time. And at that time too, American Top Team had the largest mixed martial art organization, local organization, which was AFC. I went to compete. I showed up to the tournament, and I said, hey, I want to compete. And they were like, there's no one at your weight class. And so no girls. Yeah. And so I asked to compete against guys. Mm-hmm. And they were like, no, you can't compete against guys. At that time, they didn't let us compete jiu-jitsu against guys. Yeah. I think in some organizations now they do, but it's still.
Yeah, it kind of depends on what the
right. I guess it's still the weight, just because you're the same weight it's just a different body, right? Okay, so and the guy was like, no, you can't compete against the guys. So I was like, okay. So I stayed, and I was a spectator for my teammates, and the AFC was having an event the next Saturday. Mm-hmm. the following Saturday. And that was their first event with females on the fight card. Oh. So there was one fight of females. And at that time, it was Lisa Ward. I forget the girl that I jumped in for, but they couldn't find her. So they needed a replacement. And they were like, well, this girl just came up and said she would fight guys. So long story short, he tells me, you know, how much experience do you have? How much MMA experience do you have? And I'm like, MMA? I'm looking for abbreviations like MMA. I have no clue. And I mean, he saw my face like, he's like, mixed martial arts. I'm like, I don't have any. I just started jiu-jitsu 2 months ago. I grew up with brothers, if that counts, you know. Like, I'm kind of like, you know, and he's like, okay. He's like, do you want to fight? And I said, yeah. I really didn't know what to ask or like what was going on. I was like, yeah, I'm here to fight. And I said, how much do I pay you? And he says, no, I pay you. And I'm like, wait, at that time, the rules, the things have changed a lot. So this was February 2006. And I said, how much do I pay you? He says, no, I pay you. And I say, wait a minute, what am I doing? Like, what am I, like, explain to me what I'm going to be doing. And he's like, no, you're going to be fighting another girl at 115 pounds for back then there were 2 rounds, 3 minutes each round. Now they're 3 minutes, 3 rounds, 5 minutes. So I was like, what can a 115-pound girl do to me? Like my brothers were like 180. Like, I'm like, okay. So I said, check it off my. And also another thing that I was doing, another reason why I was doing it, one, because I really fell in love with it and I fell in love with the art and just learning the techniques. And then number 2, because I could add it to my acting like skills. Right?
That's very true.
I was like, yes, okay.
Resume builder.
Right? Things are coming together. Like, I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I don't know what I'm doing, but they seem to be coming together. So I went to fight and I had 5 days to train for my first professional fight.
My God.
This was Saturday. And then the following Saturday, I was in a ring because back then they didn't have cages, right? In all the promotions. So this was AFC 15, February 18, 2006. And I go in and my first round, she gets me in an arm bar and I hear her dad's like, tear her arm off, Lisa. And I was like, oh no, she's not going to tear my arm off. I was injured for about 3 months from that. Yeah. But, and then the second round, long story short, it was a fight of the night and there was different promoters there watching me and they invited me back to fight. And after that loss, I was like, this is never going to happen to me again. And, like, I have to really figure this out because I really enjoyed it. And so a friend takes me and introduces me to American Top Team. One of my friends from Florida, she was taking some privates from a master there in Coconut Creek. So she's like, this is the best school if you really want to do it. And I was like, well, if I want to do it, I'm going to do it the right way. And I want to be the best at it. So I need to have all the disciplines, not just, I just went in like blindfolded,
Which is pretty crazy, actually, to be quite honest.
Yeah, right? Well, you got to have a little crazy. So right? So I go into American Top Team. I introduce myself. I sign up and I tell them like, I want to be a world champion. And they laugh at me, of course. And so that's how my career started. They're like, here's a schedule, sign up. And I showed up to the classes and I put a goal. I said to myself, I looked up who the best in the world was at my weight class. And that was Megumi Fuji at the time, Japanese legend, amazing woman who doesn't get the credit that she deserves only because we're old school and no, but it's true because when MMA exploded, we were, she was already retired and like, it's just a different era, right?
I get what you mean though.
Yeah. So amazing. She's just amazing person. And like as an athlete she was, and as a person. And so I was like, oh my gosh, she's amazing. And so I was like, that's my spot. That's where I want to be. That's who, like, that was my model, my role model. Right. And I said, if I want to be the best, I'm going to give myself 5 years of like just grinding, like dedicate myself to working and focusing on my career, which was, and in 5 years, if nothing happens, I didn't want to tell my mom. My mom is, you know, I lost my father when I was 6 years old, and my brother, my older brother had a car accident 10 years. So like for her, you know,
it would be a little bit like stress.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, I got you.
So I was like, there's no point in telling her unless it's serious, you know? So I said, okay, 5 years, if in 5 years I don't get to where I want to get, then, you know, that's it. I'll do something else. I'll go on to do something else. But at the time, I never quit my full-time job. So I was still working. Yeah. I mean,
so you kept it under wraps from your mom though, this whole time. You were like, what the heck, man?
Yeah. I mean, my mom, okay. So my mom lives in Texas. She lived in Texas, and she's very old fashioned. She only speaks Spanish. So it's not like, you know, now she understands and she speaks a little English, but it's not like she's on social media or reading anything or, you know. So, and she wouldn't understand what I was doing anyways. Like what? She wouldn't understand that. You know, she's a Mexican old fashioned lady where women don't do this kind of stuff. You know, she never liked me playing sports. So I said, there's no need for me to tell her. So I said, 5 years, I got 5 years. If I don't become the best, then, you know, I always knew that martial art was going to be in my life forever though, too, because it just, that passion that I felt training, and you know how it is. Yeah. I think a little over 5 years, May of 2012, I think, I became a world champion. I beat Megumi Fuji. I faced her in Bellator, and I beat her a decision. So like it just all became, you know, it was in front of my face 5 years, a little after 5 years later, and I made my goal. So I became the best strawweight in the world. Yeah. And
that's a fantastic feat to make right over there. So what did your mom say when you finally told her? You came home with the belt or something like
that? She didn't understand. She was like, what? And the reason why I had to tell her was because I was going to do a interview for Univision, and that's the only thing she watches, the news. So there was a show that came on before the news, and I was going to be on that show. So I was like, okay, she can't find out like that. I have to tell her. So I told her. She, you know, she didn't like it. She didn't understand it. She had a lot of questions. And I think the number one concern for her was like, are you okay? Are you around good people? And I'm like, Mom, of course, you know, like, I'm good. And she still didn't like it. She still didn't understand. Even at the highest level, at the highest peak, she really didn't know how big it was. It was probably just kind of like, you know, she thought I was just doing some small tournaments. So for one of my fights in Japan, I took her to Japan, and she got to see. Yeah. So it's been a pretty cool ride. You know, I never dreamed of becoming a world champion or getting into martial arts, but it really saved my life. It's been like my therapy, and I've met really awesome people. I've traveled the world. I've got to share my story with a lot of women and kids, and just be able to inspire someone that comes from nothing. And hey, if you believe in yourself, if you have a dream, go for it. And no matter what people tell you, because I was told as a girl, like, you know, even coaches, like, go to the kitchen, you know, why are you doing this? You should go to the kitchen or make babies. Like, what? You know, what? Is that what what we were here for? Like, no. So, yeah, it's been really cool. And I've been really happy to have learned all these skills, and now be able to share them with other women and kids or anyone. You know, these techniques are powerful. So yeah, that's a little bit about my story. That's a little bit.
I'm like condensing it a little bit there, but definitely it's really inspiring, and also kind of funny how you fell into certain things and how they just kind of met into it. So you went from aspiring actress to world champion MMA fighter over here. And I think
you know,
that's crazy. That's freaking crazy and amazing too, as well. You're I think last I checked, you did have a fight, like I think within the past year, I believe that was the last fight that you had.
no, my last fight was November of last year. It's going to be a year now. And I lost that fight by decision. I'm fighting now for XFC and I'm waiting for a fight. So hopefully some fight news here soon, but I'll keep you posted.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. I'm waiting to get back into the cage, and I've been on a 3 fight losing streak. So I'm ready. I've worked on a few things and just ready to kind of display some new things that I'm bringing back as a pioneer, as a old OG.
I think the OG martial arts, and obviously I'm from the younger generation, I suppose, in there. So like, I don't actually fully understand, obviously, what you guys have done for the martial arts and martial arts world, especially for like other women and stuff like that too, and especially in the combative sports, because I came from more of the sport karate performance, like you flashy stuff kind of thing. That's my martial art background. So I didn't really have an interest into like more combative side of martial arts until probably like mid-teens going into adulthood, when I guess, like you said, when MMA started taking off and it started being an interest, and I'm trying to look for schools that obviously cater toward that and we're serious about, training cool fighters. So I think it's awesome, and I'm thankful for people like you that have like made like trailblazing and making paths for other strong women out there to kind of pursue their career and path. I mean, still doing it today too, despite
yours is super cool, and it's not easy to do those flashy moves. Yo, like we gotta get together later, and you can show me some of those flashy moves, the easiest. But,
yeah. Okay, so we'll trade then. We'll trade for that. Okay. You show me some grappling stuff, because my grappling sucks. Okay, my grappling sucks so badly.
I got it on video, so.
Most definitely with that. Besides, while you are still training and waiting for a fight to come along, I know you are also active in teaching self-defense classes now. You have your own organization, correct? I believe?
Yes, I had a foundation where, because my name is Jag, so I was trying to find a way, like, what can I do? I love sharing what I've learned with kids or women or whoever needs it. One of my friends was like, Jag, she's like, why don't you do your foundation could be like just a girl making a difference? Because Jag, just a girl making a difference. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So I started that. Just a girl trying to make a difference was sponsoring kids, underprivileged kids. They had to be kept passing their school grades and be a good kid. And then they could pick whatever martial art they wanted, and I would sponsor them with whatever I could, right? They can do that, because for me, it's important. I think it's more important to share it with the younger kids, because it teaches them a lot, martial arts. So I did that, and I was like, there's other ways. And I've done a lot of self-defense seminars for females, worked with a lot of different companies. And so now I'm creating my own online platform.
Oh,
so that I can share it. Now with the COVID, things have changed a lot. Mm-hmm. So it's easier like a virtual instead of like, going out and being in groups and things have changed. We're at different times. So I'm very passionate about sharing what I've learned. And I think that we come, when we have a gift, we have to share it. That's the beauty of it. So I feel like that, that's my duty. Like I have to share what I've learned, and it can help save someone, and the kids, it can kind of form their way and help them in some way in life. So yeah.
That's awesome with that. I guess, I know you said you're just currently in the works of building your own online platform now, right? But do you have any potential online seminars or something going on that people can look out for in the near future?
Yeah, actually, I've been working with Lululemon. So
really? Nice.
Yeah, so I've been working with Lululemon. I actually have I have a class on 18th with them. And then on October 8th and 9th, I'll be doing 2 trainings for them live in Texas, in Houston. And I'll be posting those. So I'll keep you posted on details on that. I should do more live self-defense courses. I need to get better with my social media. I'm not great at it.
Social media is a headache to work with. Honestly, I am someone that's on the platform a lot too. It's a lot, man. If I had like two other me's to do it, I think I'd be okay. But I get what you mean though. Social media is a lot.
Yeah, but you're great at it. Look at you. You're like a pro. So yeah, I gotta get some notes from you. But yes, I'll be sharing that with everyone soon. But yeah, I'm still putting it together. That's something that I've been working on here in Mexico. When you talk about creating an online platform, there's so much that goes into it, and especially in videos. I'm not and this is so weird, right? Because I wanted to be an actress, but everybody's afraid of the camera. So instructional videos, it's different. Cutting and it's a lot of work, but yeah, I'm excited to be working on that and be able to share it worldwide.
Well, looking forward to when that goes live. So if you guys, I guess you're gonna be posting that on your social media pages once it's official. So make sure to follow her to get the update on that. This actually brings us to our first question from one of my patrons, Mark, Tommy.Oliver. He's like a Green Rangers fan, I think, as well.
Oh.
Yeah, but he was asking actually, do you enjoy fighting in the ring or teaching self-defense? Like more, or is it equal, or is it like depends?
It's totally different, when I go into the cage, it's just it's like a totally different world. How can I explain it? It's the best feeling, honestly, like when you're in there, because for me, you prepare for like 2 months, two hard months for training camp. You go in there and it's kind of, I don't like to trash talk or anything. I'm more of like an old school respect kind of, I respect my opponent and I would like the same respect back. And it's just, it's more a competition. Like I'm competing just to see how far I've grown. So the competition is like against myself. And that's what's, I love, because that's the only place that I can do that, even in life too, because that's not true. Even you go through life and you like even thinking about retirement, you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? There's so many things to do, but you're still scared of like going, pushing yourself to that next stage. And that's how it is in the cage. Like you compete against yourself every time you get in there. And with teaching seminars and self-defense, it's very passionate. Like I love to share and teach other women. Like you could see, when they get to the seminar, when I'm teaching self-defense, even to kids, when I've taught the classes at ATT, they're really shy, or women are like, it's just a different space. When you're in your space, they feel different. When I teach self-defense, I just see the transformation in the kids or the women that I'm teaching. And when they feel that they can do it, that it's not about how strong you are, it's about the technique. It's just it just fills me up, because, when you share something and there's been girls, that have shared, or women that have shared their story after they were, in a situation where they've been going through, and it changes, it helps them out. So it's just it's two different. The first feeling is for me, the fighting. And the second, I'm happy to see other people feel empowered by those little techniques that I can share with them.
I got you. So it's not one or the other. It's like they're two different, like invigorating feelings.
Right. And, MMA is always that's what started everything. Mm-hmm. Like that's what started the fire. Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is what started the fire. That's my first love, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. And then obviously, then I started fighting, and it was MMA, but my Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, I love the ground. I love Jiu Jitsu. So, I'm also a black belt Brazilian Jiu Jitsu under Master Ricardo Laborio. He's a degree black belt under Grandmaster Carlson Gracie. So the generation is,
the lineage is there.
Yeah.
Which is,
so,
that's a feat that not a lot of people can say that they've achieved either. So that's congrats on that. Definitely. Was that recent? A recent belt rank that you attained, or
the black belt, I received the black belt about 3 years ago. So about 3 years ago. And you're a black belt on karate, aren't you? You are
sports karate. Yeah. I just say black belt because I'm like, I'd rather have my skills.
No.
Okay.
So you understand what you have to do to get that. It's not just, it's a lot of work, so there's a mutual respect that when you have a black belt, it's like, all right, even though we try to downplay it, because I'm like that too. I'm like, sometimes I even forget to say things, but it takes a lot of work. And now that I have my black belt, I feel like I have to even train harder and learn more to like keep sharing what my masters taught me.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the cool part of, like, I guess once you, reach that level, I guess, of quote unquote mastery, which it's not technically mastery yet, because you still have so much more to learn.
Right.
That realization, once you hit that level, I think is what really jumpstarts your martial arts journey to a whole other degree.
Absolutely.
And that's the cool part, why I encourage a lot of people. Like, I know, I guess that's why, like, it makes me so sad sometimes when people just try martial arts for like a year, and I'm like, no, you gotta like stick with it for like 3 years is like minimum. But like after that, you have so much more that you can offer, and you can learn and like see how it affects you. And
exactly.
And I just, it makes me sad when people are like, oh, I tried it for like 6 months and then I quit. I'm like, why? No, I get it.
Right.
I get it. That I also get that there's different levels, I guess, of martial arts that people are okay with. But I think there is something, martial arts just has something to offer for everyone. It just
everyone.
Just in various degrees. So I know some are more passionate.
Right. That's the beauty of MMA, in different martial arts, whether it's karate, boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, it just brings something to everyone in some kind of way, whether it's mentally, physically empowered. Like, there's just a lot that it gives. And that's why for me, it's super important, like, to have that apart, like it for kids, to have that available for kids.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the fantastic thing why you created this whole foundation too, which I'm hoping it's doing still really well today.
Yeah, it has. I've done some work here in Mexico, but again, because of the pandemic, it's a little, it's a little different, because every gym's not open. So it's not, the access is not there, but we'll get better. I'm sure things will get better. And but I have to get more organized with the foundation, and be more creative and see what other ways I can, help, maybe virtually. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Well, I know there's definitely people out there that would love to support a cause like that. So
appreciate it.
Yes, AJ. Please reach out to JAG about this in terms of like help, or like even just supporting that, because I think definitely introducing martial arts to the to youth and helping them grow in that sense it's very empowering, and it definitely can change a lot of people's lives too at a very young age.
Absolutely. And I think right now, we need more of that. We need more positivity and try to get the kids working their heads, their brains working in a different way. They're taking like online classes and so it's hard.
Yeah, I don't even know how people are going through school nowadays. I'm kind of like, holy heck.
Right.
I thought this would be like a dream when I don't have to go to school and I go to it. But at the same time, I'm like, holy heck, I would not have any of like my own personal experiences or my friend groups or anything like that without having school. So like physical school, not online school.
Like social interaction,
So martial arts can provide that too in some form or fashion. Like I hope definitely with that, because I know me personally, I met a lot of close friends and really cool people and mentors just through martial arts. And I think that it gives you an extended family that you never knew you had.
Absolutely, for sure. And it's all over the world, like you can find it all over the world. Anywhere you go. I mean, I can just take my gi and walk into the gym and start training. So that's, it's pretty cool.
I guess, well, I actually forgot to ask you this in the beginning, but why is your nickname Jag?
Jag? AJ, I'll tell it's really not that interesting, but I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
My first name is Jessica J. My last name is Aguilar. I just used the last two of my last name. My first initial and the last two of my last name, AJ. And actually, growing up too, I'll tell you, it's funny. Growing up, I knew I was always different. I'm openly a lesbian, so I'm a proud. I also represent the LGBT community, and at the time that I came out, I was the first MMA pro MMA female that came out to share my story. It wasn't easy, but I did that, and I'm glad I did it because it opened up a lot of doors for so many others. Anyway, so I knew I was different, but I didn't know why, and I would always have something to say back. If I really didn't believe it, I would just let you know I didn't believe it. And my mom used to call me mula, which mula in Espanol is kind of like a hard head. Like, you're such a hard head. And I'm a Taurus, so yeah, I'm a hard head. I'm stubborn. So yeah, it's kind of like stubborn. Mula, you're stubborn.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I started to sign autographs, I would sign my full name. So they were like, so what's your nickname? Everybody would ask, and I'm like, I don't have a nickname. I don't, Jessica Aguilar. I was like, okay, now I need to come up with a nickname. Like, I felt like, and it would be a lot shorter, right?
Yeah.
So I decided I would do my first initial and then the last two of my last, which is Jag. And then I thought, oh, that's cool. Because in the Aztec and the Mayan culture, there's a lot of jaguars. Like, it's part of the Mexican culture. So I was like, all right, cool. And it goes Jaguar. Okay, we'll do something here. Okay. So I did that. And at American Top Team, I told you I started the female team there. And there was all Brazilian. So I was the only girl. And Jag in Portuguese meant stubborn, jaggy. So it just it came full circle. So I was like, all right, that's it, Jag. And then it eventually grew to just a girl trying to make a difference. So Jag, just a girl trying to make. So it just kind of, stuck. And that's how I came up with Jag. And then, I made my own lucha libre mask with the Jag print.
Oh, that's awesome.
Trying to create different things. So yeah. That's why the Jag is there for.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then I got a jaguar tattoo, Mexican jaguar tattoo. Nice. You can't see it because but yeah. So that's the story on Jag.
Okay. Hey, that works. That wasn't a boring story. That was an interesting story. What are you talking about? It's still the roots. It's the origin story. It's still how it came to be. So it still works definitely with that. Okay. I was just like, okay, I need to ask this. I keep saying her name, and I'm like, what? Why is she called Jag? I don't want to assume. Yeah,
the nickname, but now I haven't even made my logo. I haven't even made a logo. Could you believe that?
Really?
Yeah.
You need to hop on that and represent Jags out there, man.
Right? Oh my gosh! But yeah, I'm working on that too. Okay. Yeah.
So when the merch drops or when the logo's out, let me know. Definitely that. I feel I would love to represent. Definitely on there.
Appreciate it.
I know your life now is pretty much martial arts, right? But have you ever considered possibly doing any acting stuff? Possibly, if say someone was out of the blue, it's like, hey, Jag, we'd like to have you for this film, possibly.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I have. I've actually my partner, my girlfriend's an actress. Her name's Shalita Grant, and she has, she's kind of sparked that little
acting bug again.
And she's the best. She's amazing. She's the best teacher. She gives me some good classes, but it's really hard. It's really hard. But I would really want to get back into it. But again, if I do get back, I really want to focus and
do it
and do it because I'm dyslexic and I've been working on some exercises to help me memorize because when the lines, I mean, she's given me auditions and it's to memorize the lines is crazy. I'm like, I don't know how she does it. She studies, a script, and she'll memorize it in a couple hours or a day.
Dang. Yeah, I can do that.
It's insane. It's insane. She's amazing. So yeah, you guys should check her out. She's going to be coming out on the third season of You, October 15th. That comes out October 15th.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if you are familiar with You.
I actually have not seen the series.
It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix series.
I'll have to check it out then.
Yeah. But she's amazing.
Yes,
but
because she was on wasn't she on like NCIS, I think? So like one of those things.
She was on 3 seasons of NCIS.
Yeah. I was like, oh snap! I need to watch it. I need to catch up on my NCIS now because I used to watch that a lot before.
Oh,
but I need to catch. Yeah, but I'm like, oh snap! That's really cool.
Yeah, so she's amazing. She's an amazing person, strong woman. She has a great story. So she sparked that little bug in me again. And like, I'm, I can't have the best teacher. I'm like, if I want to do it, and she's like, yeah, it's just a lot. Like, you've been doing a short film and you know how many hours go into something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. But the next peak is going to be the best peak yet. There's different stages of your life that we all go through. And I'm speaking because I have a little more experience. I'm 39 years old. So I'm obviously still training. I'm still fighting as a pro, but, also already planning for my retirement. Mm-hmm. So it's a little scary. Because it's like, oh my gosh, I've been to the top of my career, and what am I going to do next? Like, what is it? I mean, but that's the beauty of life, that there's different peaks, and the next peak is going to be the best. So yeah, we'll see what happens with JAG in a couple of years, and I'll keep you posted.
Most definitely with that. Looking forward to it. And like you said before, you're pretty sure that you're gonna have martial arts still in some form or fashion be part of your life anyway. So
MMA is gonna be life forever. Yeah. Brazilian Jiu, it's gonna be forever. That's till I die. I'm never gonna stop sharing the love. I'm never gonna stop sharing jiu-jitsu, everything to anyone that I come in. Mm-hmm. So yeah. MMA is always going to be a part of my life.
But Shalita, have you tried to get her into like martial arts before? She's not really, or is she kind of?
Yeah, actually, she's taken a few jiu-jitsu classes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's done a few. Back home, actually, I have a student there, and she's done some classes with her. It's still for her the close contact, but she's athletic. She's super athletic. She's been. She was a personal trainer at once. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I show her some moves, and she's, she gets busy. She gets busy. Yeah, it's funny. But she still has problems with that close contact.
I gotcha. It's like, it's still, I think it's a common barrier for a lot of people that start getting into grappling. Cause yeah, it gets uncomfortable. Once you're in it, and I think once you settle into it, it should be fine. I would think. But
right.
It's been a while since I've rolled. So I learned how to not get choked out and not get submitted. I'm great at my turtling and I'm great at my defense.
Well, hey, that's amazing. That's great.
That's all I'm good at right now.
You're great. So you have done jiu-jitsu.
I've done a little bit jiu-jitsu, but my grappling art was actually judo. That's like what I trained in before. So it's like still the transitional phase from like the throws to like the down to the ground. So
right.
But we still did learn a few submissions and stuff as well, since
right.
we can continue on the ground sometimes. But yeah, that was mostly what I was pretty good at. The throwing part made sense to me because I guess transitioning from a stand-up fighting art to that, I'm like, okay, I don't have to be on the ground all the time. But then once I'm on the ground, it's like, I need to learn how to drop my weight. Exactly. I don't know how to be heavy yet. I can't be heavy. I don't know how to do that. Some people are like,
but you said,
like I know I can. It's just like, I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Right.
Sunk in. Right. But I'm just like, there's like a girl that's like 105 pounds and she feels like 150 something. And I'm just like, what the heck? How are you still on me?
That's what the guys tell me. They're like, how do you feel like you're 200 pounds? And it's just like the training, the more you train, the better you get. And, but it's the beauty. Like I am 120 pounds, 123 pounds I walk around at, but then you go with stronger men, and if you know how to put your weight on somebody, you could feel like 200 pounds. So hey, whenever you want and you want to come train, you're more than welcome. We can trade. So whenever you want.
Looking forward to that when we can make something happen with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because you're based. Well, you're back in Texas again, right? I think.
Yes. I'm in Mexico
right now.
for a couple of weeks, and then I'll be back in Houston, and I'll be traveling from Houston and Mexico. I think for the rest of the year.
Gotcha. Because I know hopefully toward the end of the year, I'm going to be doing a little bit of traveling, possibly for some projects, but hopefully in the span of things, if like paths cross properly, I would like to definitely hit you up and probably.
Absolutely. Please do. I'd love that.
See, guys, martial arts, you bring together totally extended family and just cool people to train with. That's always the best part, I think. So I think final question from one of again the fan that just dropped in. Baseman 2000 asks, so outside of fighting, what do you do for fun? Excuse me.
What do I do for fun? I go hiking. I love hiking. And something that I've been wanting to do more here in Mexico is I started painting because I love art. And so I started, just being creative and doing more painting. And just hanging out with my dog and my girlfriend. But I love nature. I love traveling. And just, being more creative, just coming up with new things. Like now the art thing I've been pretty active with that. So art, hiking, nature, hanging out with the dogs. They're the best. I have a Frenchie and and Shalita, she has she's half pit. Her name is Candy, and half Australian Shepherd. And she is the sweetest dog ever. The Frenchie and Australian Shepherd, it's fun. So they travel with us and we take them on hikes, and it's been fun.
That's adorable.
Yeah, I love that.
What kind of is like watercolor painting that you're doing, acrylic or anything specific? Or you
acrylic?
Acrylic. Yeah. Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, and I my idea was like, because I think it was like a month ago here in Mexico. I mean, I did painting back home too, but it was more like whatever just came to mind, I would draw it and then I would start painting. And here in Mexico, we found this little, like a little cute boutique restaurant, and they have art from different artists. And I was like, hey, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint like art for gyms, for like, different gyms. But I don't, I just have to find, my mind is, so I'm just trying to draw things that come to mind that I love and pictures that she's taken and just paint, and see if, I don't know, we're still, I'm like, I could do like a little art gallery here in Mexico, but then it's like, it's COVID. I'm like, okay, that wouldn't work, but I love it. I love art. I love art. It's like therapy to me. It's like martial arts. You get lost in drawing and painting and it's hard too. It's not easy. I'll show you some of my stuff.
Oh, most definitely. I'm really interested in that. Like, I don't have that art gift there. I think I can draw something better than a stick man most of the time, but I do appreciate art, and I appreciate artists. Like, my sister actually is a very talented artist. She's really, really great. Like, she could do like almost like hyper realistic, like anatomy, like perfect.
No way.
Like it's really sick. Well, I'm not jealous because I know how much hard work that you put into it. It's more like I'm very much happy that she has this gift and this talent, and it's also something that she's loved since a very young age. So I appreciate definitely
just like you. I'm sure she feels the same way about you. Little ninja, yeah.
Oh man, she was my martial arts buddy actually for the longest time.
Really?
I went into martial arts first, then she went afterwards. She's better at judo than I am, if I have to be frank about stuff. But I don't know, she hasn't been able to train recently just because she's going to school. She's still in school, and then she's going for physical therapy. I don't know if she's okay with me dropping this stuff on YouTube right now, but I'm doing this, Jay. I'm doing this right now.
That's awesome.
She's going for a doctorate for physical therapy, but she's still really great at her art. And I'm just like, you need to push yourself, put your art out there. You can do it too. I understand the physical thing, but if you want to, I'm just saying.
Do it. Yes, do it.
Jag said it, Jay. I'm just saying.
Do it all. Yeah, you can do it. That's really cool. I want to see some. work.
Oh, most of it. I'll share you her page with that. But she's like
sure.
a fantastic artist, and she does some commission stuff actually too. But yeah, I very much love art. I have appreciation for it, and people that are building the talent to kind of pursue that. So I definitely would love to check out some of your acrylic art paintings.
Thank you. Hey, I sure will.
So this brings us to the end of our mat chat. So we're going to go for a little bit of some rapid fire questions. So first thought that comes to your head, answer it. Try not to take
no.
Yeah. So just starting
with this.
Yeah, I'm starting this right now. I did this with my last mat chat interview, and I'm coming up with the questions as fast as I'm asking them. So we're both in the same boat somewhat here.
Okay.
So ready? Favorite color? Go.
Green.
Most recent TV show that you've been watching that you enjoyed?
Oh my god.
Or Netflix show, whatever show.
Hold on. Most we've been watching a lot of timepiece things on Netflix, and you know what? I'm in Mexico, so I've been watching a lot of Spanish stuff.
That counts too. Whatever works.
God, I'm terrible with names. You know what? I just watched you. I just watched you. I just caught up on the 3rd season. I know it doesn't come out to October 15th, but my girl got it early, so we watched it. So yeah, that's the most recent. Yes.
What's up right there? Go to post workout meal.
Workout meal, salmon and asparagus.
Oh, nice. Quick choice right there. Dessert? Choice of dessert.
Oh my God, dessert. I like brownies with ice cream, but I just had this thing in Mexico, in Morelia. It was so good. It was like condensed milk, a condensed milk candy. Oh my gosh, like a cheesecake. I don't even know. The name is Cholula. It was a funny name. It was the most delicious thing ever, but I like brownies. I like it all. Sweets, that's my drug.
Okay. We're in the same boat then. Sweets, sugar, okay. Fantastic. Right there. Cheat day meal, what do you go for?
Pizza.
Oh, man. What kind of pizza? Don't be weird.
I like mushrooms. I like mushrooms, onions, and olives, black olives.
Okay, we're good. We're on the normal side of the pizza. Cool. Awesome stuff.
What type of pizza do you like?
Well, okay, no, depending on my mood, it's only like once in a blue moon. I do like Hawaiian, my pineapple and ham on there, but I'm one of those people that like, I have a thing for school lunch pizza, but having how they give you a salad sometimes on the side, I used to make a salad pizza. So I take like the Caesar dressing on the salad, then I put the salad on the pizza. So I'd like do that. And that was like my pizza craving beforehand. But now it's just like everything meat. Just give me meat. That's what I go for.
Hey, that works. You get your greens in, and you know.
Childhood show that you enjoyed watching.
I didn't. My mom did. I didn't. Yeah. I you know what? I grew. The most that I can remember is I did like Punky Brewster because I related myself to her. Mm-hmm. Punky Brewster.
Okay. Then favorite sport outside of martial arts.
Oh, favorite sports outside martial arts. Oh my gosh, I love them all, but I would have to say either basketball or softball. Playing? No. I like tennis too. See? Man, that's no, I can't. I can't pick just a sport. I like basketball. Yeah.
Trying to think. Anything else?
What about you?
Me? Oh man, I've done martial arts all of my life, so I really don't do anything outside of that. I'm terrible at every other sport. Though I'm athletic, but I'm terrible at every other sport, so I can't.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Anything I can. Okay, the worst sports that I can do, or that the worst sports that I'm in, are usually anything with a ball and a stick. If I have to hit a stick to a ball, I can't do it. I suck at it. I can hit someone with a stick. I can do that. I can hit the ball. Golf is a little bit boring to me. I know there's like strategy and skill to it, but I have not.
Shalita says the same thing. Shalita's like, golf is boring to me.
I haven't reached that peak of like, I guess, enlightenment to appreciate the sport. Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, I remember as a kid, like my family would go, used to be a part of the family used to like golfing a lot, but I'm too young to like go out in the field, so I kind of be.
You're gonna like it.
But I wanted to drive the freaking golf carts. That was my thing. I'm like, I like golf because we get mini carts. I can drive as a kid. Nope, we're not old enough to drive. So that's the only reason why I would like golf now, to be quite honest. I'll do some go-kart racing if that's a sport, possibly.
Of course. Racing is a sport. Yeah, it is. I've always,
yeah. And then I guess last rapid fire question: if there's a martial arts that you haven't trained in yet, what would it be that you would choose? I totally asked that question wrong, but yeah, hopefully you understand what I should.
Yeah. What's the it's not Aikido with the wooden dummy.
Wing Chun.
I've been wanting to do Wing Chun for a long time.
Oh, really?
Because it helps like the movement of the body, like going away from the force. Mm-hmm. Like it's super interesting to me, but I've never done it. So yeah, I think I wanted to find a gym here in Mexico. Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
What about you?
Me, I would like to go into capoeira one of these days, but I know that is a very difficult martial art to pursue.
No, but you would be amazing.
I would love to, but I need to find a school to like train him properly.
It'd be really cool. We've been because of the dancing, the flips, and the
Yeah, there's just that movement, particularly for that style, is just very captivating to me, and I have a very high appreciation for capoeiristas. Oh my god, I'm butchering my words right now. No. For the capoeiristas that train it and like are OG like in it and actually use it for not just for the showmanship, but actually do the combative style of that art. Because that I don't know if you've ever seen like capoeira fights. If you ever YouTube them and like really hardcore ones, like they bang real hard, and I'm just like, holy hell.
Actually, at ATT in Florida, when I was in South Florida, there was a lot of capoeira fighters that also trained there. Karina Dam being one. I think she still does it. And she also has like a women empowerment group in Brazil. So pretty cool. But yeah, super hardcore. They had like training sessions, and every Sunday they would like go on the beach and perform. It's crazy. I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but
I think you would be great.
I would love to try to delve into that one of these days once I have the proper time, because obviously like with any martial art, it takes a lot of time and effort to really, learn it. And I don't want to be a surface level martial artist with any other style that I come in contact with, if that makes any sense. Like I want to give it the respect,
Exactly. I understand.
That's the thing.
Totally.
So, but in the meantime, though, I'm trying to get into like kickboxing, actual combative kickboxing. That was actually what I was pursuing before the pandemic hit. I was trying to get my first amateur fight.
No way!
Yeah, I was trying to get my first amateur kickboxing match because I was like, it's been on my bucket list for a while, and I've been saying it, and I just never made the time and the commitment for it. But then, literally, as the pandemic hit, I had to cut like my fight camp short.
Wow!
Shit, I need to be.
Well, let's plan a trip to Thailand. That would be amazing.
Oh, dang!
Because I've never gone to Thailand, and we could get some badass training in there with that Tiger MMA, and we can whenever you want. Just I've been wanting to plan a trip. I don't know what the COVID restrictions are. I think they lifted the 14-day. The 14-day, what was it?
The quarantine. Lockdown? Yeah, the quarantine lockdown thing.
So I think it's open now. But I know you said you were going to be traveling soon. So yeah, you should get back into that. That's really cool. Definitely. And anything I can support you in.
Oh, please. That was, I might ask her like, Jag, am I doing this right? Possibly?
Yeah. If I don't know, I'm sure I can get you to somebody that can help you. So yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, that's kind of next on the list. Hopefully towards the end.
That's cool. Super cool. And there's a lot of talent. These girls they're so talented. But yeah, Thailand, you could go do your first professional bout over there. Do your training camp. Do a sick ass training camp, and then do your first pro kickboxing. Your mom's gonna hate you.
I'm not even. Oh yeah, my mom doesn't like me doing this shit to me.
I know, that's why. Don't. Your mom's gonna hate me. Don't.
She sees it, but she's like, I don't want to know anything about it. Just make sure you come back in one piece, okay? I'm just like,
that's awesome.
Anyway, Jag, we've been talking for a good while, and that's awesome. I feel like we've only been talking for like a few minutes actually, and it's been
yeah.
So wrapping up here, I guess any last words you'd like to leave for the viewers, anyone following, or anyone thinking about pursuing martial arts, or just anything in general, life advice? I mean, this is the closing words from Jag.
First of all, thanks for inviting me and sharing the story, and kind of like, I've seen some of your podcast episodes, and I think that the people that you invite and the information that you're sharing is awesome information that you're putting out there for your followers. So thanks for doing that. It's really cool. We need more of that. We need more positive people like you who, want to share different stories of either martial arts or just any, inspiring stories. So yeah. But thank you for having me on. Thank you for all the support, for all, everyone watching. And yeah, the advice that I would give to people that want to get into martial arts, or kids or females or anyone, do it. Just do it. Just go Nike, right? Just do it. It'll change your life. It will for sure change your life. And stay tuned. I'll be having my online course come soon. I'm working on my website now, but I'll keep you posted. And my IG and my Twitter is Jag at ATT, or at Jag ATT. That's the switching. So at Jag ATT. And AJ, thank you so much for your time, man. We'll talk again, and hopefully, we can chop it up next time about different topics and about the online course.
Oh, most definitely. Looking forward to that too.
Yeah.
So you guys heard it from her. Please follow her on social media. Keep in touch with her, and just to see all the cool projects coming out, what's going on with her career too as well. And
if anyone has any questions about self-defense or anything that I can help them with, please DM me, and I'll be more than happy to,
the invite is there,
to help out.
Which is awesome too, because I know giving that accessibility to people that are really looking for that help is amazing, I think too. And
yeah,
that's all you can ask for sometimes, just good people helping out others. Right
for
there.
Sure.
So thank you guys so much for watching this MATCHAT podcast that we had today. And until next time, guys, remember, keep on kicking. Bye, guys.
Peace.